Hi, I'm Michael Thomas and this is Connie. Today in our class we had a class on sexy West Coast swing. So let's talk about adding chemistry and creativity that makes the dance have a sexy nature to West Coast swing. First of all, you want to pick a partner that, and it can be someone that this is the first time you've danced with. When you first go to dance with them, if they seem to like to play with the chemistry of the dance and make it a little sexy, you can see that. You can feel that in the dance. You can start making the dance a little more sexy if they play along with it. You know, you continue to have fun, and if the music is a sexy type feel, or if you want to make the dance sexy, then you add that chemistry to it and make it a real sexy dance. Also want to mention that there's what they call a creepy factor, and that's when you look at someone, you know, in a certain way, it, you know, makes them feel creepy. You know, it's like too much eye contact and too intense, unless you know the person and you're playing around, can make the dance feel creepy. So we're not trying to make a creepy feel, but more of a sexy feel. So what makes our dancing sexy? Some of the things that I like to do that make it sexy is a lot of touch. Now the dance should have touch anyway and connection. So if I'm doing like a side pass, I can take the hand as I'm doing the side pass. I can take the hand and kind of roll the hand down. So anytime I'm doing a move in which I can take my hand and kind of stroke down the body and the arm, to me that's kind of sexy. Another thing that makes a dance sexy is to put a pause. So if you're doing a move and you come in and you do a pause with a slight glance, that's kind of sexy. Especially if you take and then maybe do a little body movement, a little play, a roll out with a little look, you know, maybe a little roll of body. That adds sexiness. Sometimes I like to take my hand over my head and come in with a little pause and a little look and maybe come out. I can do it on this side, so I've got maybe a little shoulder shove, body rolls, styling. Ladies, when you're walking by a guy, if you touch the guy, that really adds a lot of sexiness. So to give you an example, Connie's going to walk by and she's going to touch me on my side, do a little glance, maybe a little play, and then continue. So we've got walk, walk, triple step, step, triple step. Okay? Or she'll come in, let's say I'm doing an underarm turn, she'll come in and put her hand on my arm. Walk, walk, and then she might play, because when she puts her hand on my arm, it gives me an indication she might want to play. So she can do some little sexy movements. And always make sure you feel sexy when you do that. It really adds to it. That's the original authenticative type. A little pause like this can add to the sexiness with maybe a little roll. What I've done here is I brought her in and stopped her, and then I took my leg with my inner thigh, and I'm kind of rolling her body. She can feel the roll of my leg, and she just goes along with it. So we've got a little body roll, and then I can swing her out. So again, sexiness to me is making a connection with your partner. Playing with the music. So you're connecting with the music, you're feeling something with the music, you're doing something where you give a glance, you know, yeah. A little something that's, you know, tease, a little tease. That's all sexy. Here's another move sometimes I like to do, where I come in and take my arm here, and I do a little pause, maybe a little roll like this, and then pull out. All I did was take my hand up, put my elbow And I'm really rubbing the elbow along her arm because I don't want to give the feeling of she's going to get it in her face. So I take my elbow and I rub the arm, and then I come over the arm and out, and I've kind of clamped her arm. Let me show you from this side. So I'm coming in like this, and then I may clamp this arm right here, and I might do a little bit of movement. So a little walk here. And then if I want, I can push her out. So again, sometimes I like to do this type of move where I come up and I put my hand down the back like this. Maybe a lead with the shoulder, and then a push out with an arm drag. That's sexy. I'll do the same thing with this. I'll come up here and I'll really emphasize it. As opposed to a move like this, I'm going walk, walk, triple step, triple step. I'll do something like this, walk, walk. Something like that. It kind of emphasized the move, brought a little attention to it, and then I continue the move. Maybe a slow drag. So that move is different than just doing something like this, which is still sexy. Something like this, it's kind of exaggerated. I put my knee here to catch your knee here. And so those are all types of sexy moves. Another thing you can do is, bring the body in and pause it where it's sideways as opposed to this way, sideways. And then you can kind of move the body and play with the music. Maybe a little slide out, a little pause. Another thing I like to do in my pause is just to move her body some. So like this, a little move her body. And then come out. So those are all sexy things that you can do. One thing you definitely want to do is try to make whatever you do, make it feel a part of you. Even though at first it might feel a little strange or funny, at home if you can play around with doing different things, maybe in the mirror, maybe not in the mirror, just anything that makes you feel sexy, a little bit of body movement, that kind of thing. Put that into the dance, add a little touching the man in different spots. Add a little something where maybe you touch his hand on a side pass and then come down. Anything where you're touching the man or glancing at him, or giving him a little look and a little movement.